What's happening, YouTube? I am your host, Nice, and this is a special guest of mine, a friend of mine. Tell us a bit about yourself, who you are, and what is it that you do, and why am I even interviewing you? They should know who you are.
What's going on, y'all? I'm Rob Acosta. I'm also a strength and conditioning coach for all professional fighters, and I work personally with Jaron Ennis, many other clients that also come to this gym.
So, what is it that made you do what you do? How did you even start becoming a strength and conditioning coach? That is what you do, right?
Yeah.
Do you also train? Have you ever trained before?
Yeah, I did.
What did you start off with?
I got a couple fighters.
What did you start off with? Strength and conditioning or just straight up training?
I used to fight first.
Early, okay.
I started boxing when I was about 15.
Okay.
And just on and off, got caught up in the streets and stuff like that, and then started smoking, and then of course girls came and did some things like that, and then once I tried to go a little bit more serious in high school, I got locked up in high school, and my probation officer at the time found out that I enjoyed boxing, so he was like, would you like to do community service hours at a boxing gym? So I said, sure. So I went back into it, started doing the community service on 5th and Allegheny. And this coach there, his name was Little Red Perez. And I went back into it. In between, I did martial arts, I did wrestling. I wrestled for 3 years in high school. I was ranked in the city twice, and stuff like that. But then boxing was where my love was at. Mm-hmm. So, I started moving forward from there. And then I gym hopped a lot because there wasn't a lot of coaches in the city at the time that knew how to really work with southpaws. So I kept, I started off at Champ's Gym, but when they were open, and then from there I went to Frazier's, and then from Frazier's I tried to go to Bosey's original dungeon back then, and I visited a couple times, but it was tough because of the distance. Now I was young, I was 16, 17 years old. I never really was used to transportations and things like that, so it was hard for me to get there. Right. And then I started training on Being Allegheny, which was Philly Rumbler's gym, and then the coaches and I had a little fallout. So then I started training with Vaughn Jackson, who also trained Mike Jones at the time.
Okay.
And that's who basically took me under his wing and showed me how to coach. And he's the first person that ever gave me an opportunity with strength and conditioning. And that was around 2007. My last fight was in 2007. And then, actually, no, I'm lying. I fought in 2013, 14. But I started strength and conditioning in 2007.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's not bad. So, you did train fighters, like you said, in times past, and you still have some now. Are you training some?
I got two fighters. I got my nephew Gio Rodriguez, and then I have my young boy Nelson.
So what do you like doing more, training or just strength and conditioning?
I enjoy both because I have an experience of what it's like to be in there.
Right.
And I never used to like sparring green guys. I like going in there with dudes that I knew could fight, because even if I got my ass whooped, it didn't matter. I was learning out of it. So even for this last camp, I was getting ready for a Masters tournament, and I didn't go in there with no green guys. I threw myself in there with very well trained fighting veterans, and I did what I had to do. But it's to teach somebody the boxing aspects, the fundamentals, and everything else. It all comes down to style and who can you get to find that equal mindset that your style fits my training, and then go from there.
Oh, wow, yes. So, how many fighters at this point are you working with so far?
So, boxing-wise, I got 2.
Yeah. Just 2 so far.
For conditioning, I got Boots. This will be going when he gets his next date. It will be 10 camps with Boots. I'm currently in talks working with Ray Robinson, Hank Lundy. I work with John Carlos Rivera. I've worked with James Martin before. I've worked with. I work now with Tamir Smalls. I worked with Milton Santiago. There's a lot of local guys, but some of them, some of those names holds weight.
Really? Okay.
You know, it's just you know.
So your biggest, of course, your biggest guy that you're working with is no.
As of right now, yeah, the
Jaron Ennis.
boogeyman himself. Yeah.
So how did you link up with Jaron Ennis?
I've known the family for years, man. Like his oldest brother, that also is one of the coaches here. I was always a fan of his all the time. So I remember I used to cut hair. I used to own a barbershop when I was like 23 years old, and I used to cut hair. I used to cut hair for like 17, 18 years. And I remember Vaughn used to call me and be like, yo, Rob, you know, we're going to go out for some boxing around 1 o'clock. You want to go? And I'm like, where y'all going? They'd be like, we're going to Bosie's. And I'm like, who boxing? And he'd be like, Mike sparring Pooh. And I sit there and cut and run through that cut real quick. And then I get dressed, boom, I shoot out, I go right to the gym, and then I watch it. I enjoy the family.
Really? That's good.
I just never had the great opportunity to work with Bo as him being my head coach for many years, but everything happens for a reason. But I've known Boots for a while. We actually went to Puerto Rico in 2014, all of us together, and we fought over there.
Okay.
And Bo, I started training with Bosie around 2013. So that's how it linked up. But I've known the family for years, and this opportunity of working with them kind of just happened. Yeah. So it was amazing how it happened. It was a sincere blessing of how it happened, and just takes time, man. Patience.
So your relationship is pretty good, huh? As far as
like we're cool.
And
yeah, no, we straight.
In that aspect, it's great, right?
So what happened was when I first opened up the gym, it took me a little journey to open up the gym. Like the story's pretty long.
Okay.
So to open up the gym, it took a little while. But once I opened it, there was like 4 other gyms locally. And Joe Hands closed down, then Danny closed down, then Ridiculously Fit around the corner, they ended up closing down. So then I ended up being the last gym standing around. So I was the new guy. But everybody knew my face from back then, from working with Mike and everybody. I'm known as the strength coach.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm known for. So from there, Boots and the family and Bosie and everyone else was training out of Harrogate's gym, but they were having some dwelling issues with the structure. So one day I posted up the picture of the ring, and he said, that ring is beautiful. I'll be seeing you soon. And you know, in Philly, when you tell somebody I'll see you, you know, I'll see you.
Yeah,
I'll see you when I see you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they were actually looking for a gym to train at. And they were going to different spots and whatever. And then he came here. And I closed the gym down. I turned the heat up because I know how he likes to train. And we started training. We started talking. And he looks at his dad. He goes, this is where I want to be. And his dad was like, all right, well, then this is where we're going to be. So I said, all right, cool. So what y'all want to do? Y'all want me to give y'all a key? Like, what's up? So he's like, no, you don't got to do that. I'm like, nah, y'all family. Of course I'm going to give y'all a key.
Right.
So then the next day, Boots comes in with his stuff. He's like, yo, you know, how much would you charge to work with all of us? I said, bro, y'all family, bro. Like, you know, it's different. You know, me being around y'all, the knowledge that I'm going to gain out of these next couple of years is going to be incredible.
Right.
So he's like, all right, well, how about this? How about you just do my strength and conditioning for now? So I said, all right, bet. I'm working with that.
Right.
10 camps later.
Still there, huh?
Still there.
Hey.
Yeah, we got a good chemistry. It's a good chemistry.
That's what's up. Now, what impresses you most about Jaron Ennis? What is his best attribute, in your opinion? Like his speed, his power, his combination punching?
He's one of those types of fighters, man, that you're gonna see once an error. You know what I mean? Like he's incredibly talented. He could do whatever you want him to do. I've seen him do crazy things like on some bionic shit here in the ring, and his work ethic is great.
Right.
Very humble, very loyal, and very approachable to every camp. I would call him And I said, hey, listen, what did you like about this camp? What you want to do improve on the next camp? What you want to do on this one? Is there anything that I can do for you as a strength coach to get better and then everything else? And he's open. He talks about it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what the chemistry is there about, because it's not just me doing my job. At the end of the day, even though I do my job as a strength coach and I'm the best at it, but it's like I need to know what my clients are feeling, because that's what builds more of a rapport.
Right.
I'd rather seal the deal and have quantity over quality. I mean, quality over quantity.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, it's a great attribute, but for him, that kid could do it all, bro. He could do it all. I'm telling you, I've been in this game for a while, and the things that I've seen him do and the percentages that I've seen him perform at it's unbelievable. Like it's I can't even put it in words. It's like an enigma. But you have to just be patient, and when that opportunity comes, I promise anybody that's watching, he's gonna be a reigning champ for a very, very, very long time.
Right. When I first saw him, that's what I'm saying. I fell in love with him. I said, this guy is talking about one time. It took me one time.
Yeah.
I said, he's gonna be the champ.
Yeah.
He's gonna be the next one in the era. He's gonna be the 147-pound champion.
He's gonna be 147, 154, 160, 68.
I hear you. He's gonna thrive for all that. Now, speaking of going up in weight, Jaron is set for the IBF final eliminator, supposedly in March or April, likely. And we know, Errol Spence is the WBC IBF welterweight champ, supposedly fighting your Dennis Ugas. Now, what are your thoughts on that particular matchup with Errol Spence and Ugas? What do you like in that fight? What do you think is going to happen there? Because supposedly, this is what I heard, that after that fight with Ugas, he might eventually move up to 154. Now, if he does that, what do you think? Is he avoiding Crawford, or is he avoiding your man Jaron Ennis, knowing that he's going to be mandated for IBF title shot? What do you think, in your opinion? What do you think?
I mean, right now, when we know, everybody else will know as far as what the next move is with Boots. I don't really discuss anything that has to do with camp or business side or anything like that. That's out of my pay grade. But my job is to get him in shape. That's my job.
Right.
But as far as Ugas and Spence goes, I think that's going to be a very interesting, challenging fight. I do got Spence winning, but it wouldn't surprise me if Ugas comes on his A game and really does his thing, because I like Spence. Don't get me wrong, but when we talking about competition here, you know what I mean? It's a whole different animal. I respect him. I respect Crawford. All the world champions. Anybody that lace up a pair of gloves. But if you're going up against our squad, our team, I don't give a fuck who you are. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. But Ugas don't want that smoke, and Spence will get his fucking face broken. So it doesn't even matter. So at this point, it's just more of getting into the position where we gotta go. But I think what's gonna happen is it can either be politics, or it could just be clear out avoidance, because if he tries to go up against Spence, what's going to happen is it's like Boots is only 24. He's really young. And you got Crawford, who's in his 30s. Spence, who's older in the boxing game. Ugas, who's older in the boxing game. The 147-pound division needs a new face, and that's going to be him. He's going to run the division for the next era, which will be the next 10, 15 years. So it's like you're going to avoid him. But then also on the same token, it's kind of like, with Heyman, if he knows. If you go in there with Boots, he's going to fuck you up. You know what I mean? But it's the whole point of not so much being avoided, because I understand the business side. I understand the business side and what makes sense. If you paid me a specific amount of dollars, I'll be even hesitant to go in there with Boots, anybody that I know can do some damage. But I'm not going to take an ass whooping for like 1,000, 2,000, 1,500. Crazy. You know what I mean? So I understand the politics of it as well.
Right.
But for Spence's legacy, him gaining the titles, say he wins, vacates him, moves up to 54. That's great for his legacy, because he left undefeated, and Spence has some very good fights under his belt and a resume. He has the best resume so far at 47, besides Danny and things like that.
Right.
So, you know, he's done great things. So if he goes up to 54 and dominates 54, that just makes him more of a legendary type of fighter. So I wish him the best luck, man. But if you go in there, and that goes for anybody. Anybody goes in there against our guys on the other side, I don't give a fuck who you are. It's on and popping until it's over. We shake hands, we stop talking shit, and it is what it is.
Right.
But in the meantime, you know.
One more question before we let you go. Terence Crawford, you know, switch hitter, southpaw, you can do it all. A lot of people compare him switch hitting, and you know, Jaron Ennis is exceptionally well in that aspect. If they do fight, let's say, what do you think about that matchup? Would it be a better matchup, Crawford and Jaron Ennis, or Spence and Jaron Ennis? What would you like to see first? Let's say if it was, forget politics. Let's say if it was, you know, you can make it happen. What would you like to see Jaron fight the most?
I think Boots wouldn't be challenged enough with Crawford. Even though Crawford could switch hit, and he's smart, and he probably could pop and everything, but he's too small. Like he's not gonna really go in there. Like I saw a lot of things in the Porter fight that if he would have got hit with shots like that with Boots, he's going to sleep. You know what I mean? Now with Spence is a lot tougher. He's been in there with a lot more tougher competition. I've seen adjustments Spence made and him dominate and beat people down for round after round after round until he got him out of there. So I think Spence would be a great fight for Boots because I think it'll challenge Boots to even go past 6. You know what I mean? And then go from there. But of course, I still think, you know, with the injuries that Spence has gained in the last couple of years with the car accident and the eye and things like that, I think that affects it a lot. And I don't want that for people to be an excuse why Boots beats him. I want it to be like style for style, skill for skill, knowledge over knowledge. Boots is just a better overall fighter. You know what I mean? But I think Boots and Spence would be much more challenging than Crawford and Boots, for sure.
Okay. I did say that was going to be the last question. I just thought of one more. I forgot to mention, not for nothing, a lot of people say, of course, like you said, and I say that he is the future, Jaron Ennis at the 147. Now, you know, there's another young man that's coming up, Virgil Ortiz. What are your thoughts on him as far as his skills, or, you know, if he's a good fighter? What do you think about him? I'm just saying, not against Boots. I'm just saying as
just
a fighter.
In general?
What do you think about it? Honestly.
I don't know. For real, like, he comes straight forward and he's strong. This is how I class fighters, right? Take away the best the best trait that they bring to the table. What else do you got? If you got multiple things, then you're a great fighter. You're special. But if you take away someone's power, it's like,
what do you have left?
What do you got left? What do you really got? Like, you know, if you took away Floyd's speed, he got his IQ. Take away his IQ, he got his defense. Take away his defense, he got the ring generalship. You know, and so on and so forth. Roy Jones, same thing. So, Virgil Ortiz, I just think it's too early for him to really put my finger on it because he kind of struggled a little bit and got touched by a guy that he should have just watched. But if, he's alright. He's alright for right now. You know what I mean? Like I respect him. You know, I know people that personally work with him, and that's cool and everything. But you know,
he just needs more improvement.
I just think I would like to see him in there. But see, that's the thing though. It's playing devil's advocate too because people will say the same thing about Boots. So I want to see him go in there with tougher competition. Yeah, I get it, and trust me, I do. But I've seen Boots perform in here and out there, and I know what he's capable of. Virgil Ortiz fights the same way every single time. So it's if you want to see knockouts, cool, that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? If you want to support the whole thing with Virgil Ortiz and everything else, then cool, what up? You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, You know, I judge fighters off of skill only, overall IQ, ring generalship, defense, speed, everything in general. If you take away any of those attributes, what do you got? You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
It is what it is.
Jaron Ennis, this year, do you think he'll be a champ this year? Maybe ending of the year, or
that's
get a title shot?
That's
right?
the goal.
That's the goal.
We'll be ready no matter what.
All right, Rob, let everyone know where they can find you at, catch you, you know, your social media, whatnot.
You can find me on Instagram, I am Alchemy 101. You can follow the gym at Philly Boxing 101. I got a Twitter, but I don't know how to use it. I'm old, you know what I'm saying? So if you want to find me on Twitter, it's I am Alchemy, TSW. I'm on Facebook, Rob, Mr. Lee Acosta. And that's basically it. I'm very, approachable. I'll talk to people. If you want to pick my brain, that's cool. Whatever you want.
You still open to train or even condition any fighters?
Yeah, as long as they're not in the same caliber as my current fighters. So, say for an example, Thurman calls me. He says, "Yo, I need somebody to give me a condition. Are you interested?" Even if the money's right, I won't take it because I'm loyal to Boots. So it's like, I'm not going to train you to prepare for somebody that's the reason why I'm where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to do that. But if you at 40, let's go. If you at 54, let's go. You know what I'm saying? So on and so forth. But 47, it depends on the caliber. You know what I mean? Virgil Ortiz, he's up there, so it's different to work with Virgil because he's already ranked in the same class. You know what I'm saying? Right. But if it's like he got 7 fights, 10 fights, 13 fights, yeah, I don't mind because the chances of you fighting Boots is like, you know what I mean? But I'm absolutely willing to work. I'll even travel. You want me to come to Vegas? I go to Vegas. You want me to go to Cali? I go to Cali. You want me to go to Canada? I go to Canada. I don't care. It don't matter. The money right, I'm taking it. But unless, of course, it's going against the loyalty. You know what I'm saying?
Sir.
Other than that, I'm not doing it.
Rob, I appreciate your time, man. Thank you for this interview. You already know I am your host, Nice. Like, comment, subscribe. Most of all, don't forget to share the fight room.